So I thought I would do a quick live coding demo of the expression watcher. So I've introduced routes into my application using biddy and pushy, and that's kind of broken a few things from how I had it before. So I'm going to try to figure out why that is. So you can see as I navigate, the URL is changing, and everything works pretty well except for, let me go ahead and hide the debugger. Clicking on the support document. That should take us to another component, but it doesn't seem to be working. So what I'm going to do is actually I have several expressions that I'm watching. And as I navigate through the application, I can see, for example, the dominant component expression is something that runs and gets refreshed every time the database changes. So in this case, the dominant dashboard is, the dominant component is the dashboard. I can look at what's being inspected. It looks like nothing right now. I'll look at this and see that we have a case being inspected and it has an entity ID. So let's see what the dominant component is whenever we click on support document. So we see that the support document is the type that's being inspected here. That looks correct. However, the dominant component is just case manager, and we should expect to see a subcomponent here. So for example, if we're looking at the profile editor, we see the full profile is the subcomponent there. So I'm going to take a look at the code where we determine the dominant component. And I'm actually thinking about this right now. What is the issue? So it's going to be something like whenever we have a supports document, let's see, the type is the inspected type, I believe. Let me just double check. So the inferred type is inspected type, yes. So mono.type/case, and clicking on support document doesn't change. Oh, it does. Okay. So really we want to say whenever the inspected type here is this fully qualified enum, and that is going to be for type, then really we want to use the, let me go ahead and take a look at the case manager, figure out what the subcom components are. That's going to be xgen. Okay, so actually I have a list of types that actually map to our support doc, which is called xgen, and I'm going to just add a few more in here. So I have support doc, exhibit, and section. And this is just during a transitory stage because of the introduction of the routes. So go ahead and save this. Make sure that compiled without error. Refresh. Okay, so our routes bring us right to our component. Okay, great. And yeah, looks like we're back to working now. Okay. So let's see if we can go back home. Yeah. All right. Perfect. All right. So it looks like that's just looks like the bug is fixed, but that was just a way to give an example of the expression watcher, and you can kind of see as it changes as I navigate through here. So form editor, for example, and this is right now currently on its own tab, but probably it needs to be integrated with the state scrubbing debugger, so we can kind of watch and see the result of the expression every step along the way that we've been inside of the application. But for right now, it actually did. I just added that in because I actually needed that to solve this particular bug.